Alright, people, you finally got your wish. I keep hearing about, like, Zeon, you should review the manga. Zeon, you should talk about the manga. The manga's really good. Zeon, what do you think about the manga? Well, the manga's out. I got the manga. It's here, it's right here. I'm talking about the manga. So people can stop asking me about the manga. Alright, so, the manga. What did I think about it? And by the way, before anyone tells me, hey, Zeon, you can just read it online. It's on Viz's website. It's completely legal. I'm an old fag. I like books. I like books, I like paper, I like it bound in book form, and that's how I like to read my manga, and that's how I like to read. I don't like reading shit digitally. I don't like it. I don't like sitting in front of a fucking screen or like on my phone or whatever. This is how I like to do it, so this is how I do it. Alright? Be cool? Alright. So yeah, the first volume of this manga is out. I went and I picked it up, because I have been really interested in reading this. I checked it out, or I've been keeping up with like what the manga's been doing. Like whenever like new leaks come out, I'll like skim through and go, oh, okay, that's what they're doing. It's usually still in like Japanese or usually fucking Korean, because that's what the leaks are usually in. So yeah, I went and picked up the manga, and I read it, and I have things to say about it, because a lot of people keep saying like, oh, the manga's so much better. You need to read the manga. The manga, like, if you really want to fix Superman, like go check out the manga. The manga is always better, and I don't entirely agree, because first off, the Battle of Gods arc, I think, is horribly fucking truncated. And it's already a story that was really lacking in story to begin with. So the mere fact that it feels so rushed, I feel is a little fucking retarded. Because it's only 4 chapters, and a lot of people blame it on that. Like, oh, well, it's only 4 chapters. What were you expecting? First off, how about you just cut the entire first fucking chapter? Like, this first chapter does nothing. It's just basically the first episode of Super, which the first episode of Super did nothing. Yeah, it introduced Beers. Beers blows up a planet. Goku's on a farm. Mr. Satan gives him Zenny, and then he goes into Kaido's planet. Like, that's all that fucking happens. And, like, we didn't need build-up for that. Like, we didn't need all that, because Battle of God starts off, Beers just wakes up and, gets informed about the Super Saiyan God. And Goku's already on fucking Kyle's planet. We didn't need all that extra bullshit. And I didn't think Super needed it, and I didn't think this manga needed it. And I feel like this is an entire chapter's worth of content that could have been used to, establish the Peel-Off gang, because they're not established in this arc, and that becomes a problem later on in this manga. The entire party scene is completely skipped over. Like, they could have done a lot more. And I feel like they could have made little trims and edits here and there to just make it a more rounded, fully fleshed out story, instead of just feeling like a bunch of bullet points. Like, as much as I like the fact that they insert Champa early on into the story and have him doing his own thing, and that they do introduce the Kaioshin defusing early on, like, I do appreciate those things, but I also feel like those things, like, if you're gonna just completely chop out sections of story, like, you don't need those things, and I mean, if the Super manga were just supplementary material, then that would be fine, but it's not. Like, it's kind of acting as its own standalone thing, but it doesn't stand alone because of that. And, but, I mean, really that problem is only in the Battle of Gods arc. Like, once you get past that, you get into the Champa arc, because, yeah, like, oh man, speaking of that, like, the Battle of Gods arc going to the Champa arc, I love how they adapted the Golden Frieza arc by just having this little fucking blurb, like, oh yeah, Frieza showed up, he had a new form, Vegeta and Goku got new forms, and they kicked his ass and he's dead now. Who cares? Like, just it was good shit. I loved it. Because fuck the Golden Frieza arc. Honestly, I kind of wish the Super manga would have just started with the Universe 6 arc. Just have, like, go watch the movies. Go, just do that instead. And then, pick up the Super manga at the Universe 6 tournament. That would have probably been a way better idea, but whatever. This is what we got. And, honestly, like, the Universe 6 stuff is great. Like, I dig this so goddamn much. And just, like, I feel like it's really well paced. It's really well put together. It's a little dialogue heavy because, it's trying to cram so much stuff. Like, it's trying to cram so much story into it. and it kind of makes the panels a little cluttered. But given the fact that there's only so much panel space to work with, I can forgive that because it is a monthly thing, and it has to try to keep up with the series as best as it can. So the Universe 6 arc in this, like, they definitely made some improvements. Like, there's a lot of improvements made here, and I like it a lot more so far than what we originally got. Because, it definitely gets you through a lot of the setup stuff a lot faster. Even though there's like a whole chapter dedicated to Zuno, and like them finding out about like Super Dragon Balls, and then Goku and Vegeta training, and God, I love little throwbacks to events of Dragon Balls past. And there's just little things I love in the details here, like the conversation between the conversation between Kaba and Vegeta and Goku, because I know like they speak briefly, but I feel like, even though this manga is so truncated, that they actually get more information out to one another, oddly enough. And I like the fact that, like, in the test, Majin Buu still gets scrapped, but he gets scrapped because he failed the intelligence test thing, which Goku himself almost fails. And he actually bitches at Vegeta. He's like, motherfucker, I almost got kicked out of this goddamn tournament because you wanted to do these stupid standardized testing bullshit. And I love that. I love that the arena has this Egyptian vibe to it, because Beers and Champa are very, like, Egyptian themed, so they kind of had this Egyptian theme to their ring, as opposed to whatever the fuck that they were going with like, I have no clue what aesthetic they were going for in Super. It wasn't a bad aesthetic, it's just I really like what they did here. Also the fights, I think the fights are a lot better. Watamo actually fights, like, and there's a lot of great action sequence moments here. Because, God, this manga has so much personality. I love it. I love just how Toyotaro lays this stuff out. Like the man understands action. Like, this man knows how to storyboard some great fucking action sequences that have a lot of energy to them, that are just really entertaining. I really love also the Frost fight, how, like, that pans out. It actually has a pace and structure to it. We get, like, especially like little things like this, where like Frost wraps his tail around Goku's leg, uses that momentum to spin around and then kick him in the fucking head. Like, that's like some great stuff. It's just, like I said, Toyotaro, man. Like, and let me just talk about this art. Oh my god, this manga, even if the story wasn't that great, even if the Universe 6 arc felt as truncated and poorly structured as the Battle of Gods arc, I would say, like, this would be worth it just for the artwork alone, because I love this man's artwork. It is so fucking nice. And I know it's kind of weird, because I think, like, everyone jerks off Toyotaro and his artwork, so I'm kind of late to that party. But, oh my god, I love how he draw, like, the way, like, the characters are so expressive in his understanding of anatomy. Like, it's weird, because, like, I'm not saying, like, Toriyama's bad or anything, but, like, this is, like, some of my favorite Dragon Ball artwork. Just, like, just, like, the little expressions that he gives these characters, it has just so much charm to these characters. It just adds so much to them, and I love it. I think it's such a great aesthetic that this guy has going with. Even though it's so close to Toriyama's stuff, it's just different enough to just give it so much more personality, to really make it pop. He definitely has a better understanding of anatomy than Toriyama does. Toriyama does have, like, a bad understanding of anatomy, but I would say Toyotaro definitely has a better one. Speaking of anatomy, like, okay, so I'm really surprised that a lot of people love Toyotaro's artwork as much as I do, or at least, they like it as much as they do, because he draws Goku or all of the characters, he gives them a very lean martial artist look. Like, they actually look like martial artists that work, and they have lean, tight muscles and body builds to them. And I love that look for these characters, and it's consistent throughout this entire manga, so it never changed at any point, at least not that I've seen so far. And just, how he draws them, and a lot of people seem to really hate that. Like, they think Goku needs to be big and buff and ripped, and they don't like how, like, Super kind of has him a bit more lean. And I love just the way Toyotaro draws this, like the much leaner look to the characters. They look more like martial artists. His understanding of panel layouts and structure and pacing, pacing for like Universe 6. Like I said, the Battle of Gods arc notwithstanding. If there's one major gripe I have about this at all is, and this kind of goes back to this not really standing on its own as its own individual thing, is the Peel-Off Gang. Because, let me see, I know the Peel-Off Gang is in here somewhere. Damn it, I know they're in here. There we go. Yeah, the Peel-Off Gang, they're here. They're coming along, and they haven't been introduced up until this point. So if you aren't watching the Super Anime, even though the Super Anime doesn't fucking explain them being kids or anything, but it never really gets into why they're there, why they're even associated with these characters. Not even why they're kids, but why they're even associated with these characters now and why they're hanging around them. It's just really weird. And I thought Toyotaro might have thrown in a little joke picture at the end, because he likes to throw in these little joke pictures at the end of each chapter. And that kind of just fill in little moments. And he didn't do that for the Peel-Off Gang. I thought he really would have, and he just doesn't. He does the little bingo dance joke that got cut from the manga and stuff like that, but the Peel-Off Gang just show up, and they're gonna be plot relevant. So it's really weird that he just has them show up. And say if you're a manga only person, say you've only you read the original Dragon Ball manga, you read Jocko, and if you read Jocko, you're already doing better than most people. And then you jump to the Dragon Ball Super manga, you get this weird truncated version of the Battle of Gods arc. You have this weird, the Golden Frieza arc is just kind of referenced. And it's weird too, because Sorbet shows up, he's there, he's here, and then it's just his story is just completely skipped over. So it's really kind of a thing where if you really want a proper reading experience or a proper, understanding of this, you need to read the original Dragon Ball manga, read Jocko, watch Battle of Gods and the Resurrection F movie, and then read this manga. I guess you can read the truncated version of the Battle of Gods arc, but yeah, you're still going to need to, watch those movies at very least to get what the manga is doing. And if they're going to do that, I don't even know why the hell they even bothered doing the Battle of Gods arc at all. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Dragon Ball Super manga. I really dig this. I think it's just a really great read. Like I said, the Battle of Gods arc notwithstanding, for the 10 billionth time. But, I totally get why people like this. I totally get why people say it's better. I mean, the Battle of Gods arc was fucking garbage and Super. So having this weird truncated version, I do think it makes some improvements, even in the Battle of Gods arc. Gotenks is actually Super Saiyan 3, which would have made more fucking sense. But yeah, I definitely dig this quite a bit. Oh man, so like I said, Toyotaro adds these little joke panels in, and then just whenever Goku and them are setting up the Universe 6 tournament, Beers has that line about oh well, I said that you're the second. I told you before you're the second strongest guy I ever faced. I'm gonna go get the strongest guy I ever faced to be in the tournament, and that's in the movie. That's that's in the movie, and I think it's in the Super Anime. But the Super manga doesn't have that. He doesn't actually say that. So there's a little extra panel here at the end, a little joke panel where Beers flies back. I forgot to tell you, the second strongest guy I ever fought. See ya! And he just fucks off. And Goku going, oh yeah, maybe he did say that. So Toyotaro catching the fact that he completely forgot to introduce that plot point. And yeah, once again, it just gives this story that extra little bit of charm that I think is so damn good. And yeah, it's great. I love this manga so far. I can't wait for the next volume to come out. Oh, also, I don't know if I mentioned this yet. There's the little extra bonus thing about Champa secretly being beers, and then like they pull the plug and they deflate them. There's the little bonus chapter where how Kyle got his planet back. So yeah, I mean, this is totally worth fucking getting. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, especially if you're liking Dragon Ball Super, definitely go pick this up. If you don't like Dragon Ball Super, maybe this is your thing. I recommend reading it online first to see if this actually is your thing. Like I said, I think the artwork alone warrants owning this, because this is just a gorgeous fucking art book in itself. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Dragon Ball Super manga so far. When the next volume comes out, I'll talk about that. And till then, I don't know, maybe I'll talk about other Dragon Ball stuff eventually. Who knows? Alright, so yeah, that wrapped up everything I had to say there. Till next time, Xeon, out.